These granite slabs are on a farm outside of Atlanta, and no one knows exactly what they're doing here.
In future generations, they'll wonder, who put those stones there? Why did they put those stones there?
Hudson Cohn was here from the beginning, 1979. He took these photos as the guidestones went up, 19 feet high, 250,000 pounds, and built to withstand an earthquake. The 4 slabs of granite each have 10 guiding principles of truth and harmony. They're inscribed in English, Russian, Chinese, Arabic. The list of languages goes on. But what does it all mean?
I've had people some say it was some kind of Satan worship shrine and it ought to be torn down. And I've had others say it was the holiest spot on earth, that the Holy Grail was buried under there. Some people think it's a beacon to UFOs.
Hudson is one of the only people to meet the man who knows the true meaning. His name is R.C. Christian, and he paid for this all to be built. And wouldn't you know it, R.C. Christian is a fake name.
And he was very concerned about the environment.
Do you think he could still be alive?
Probably not. I'd say early to mid-70s then. I'm not saying he couldn't be alive, but he'd been an awful old man.
Even the people who built the Georgia Guidestones say that they don't even know for sure why R.C. Christian wanted this. Not even Wayne Mullinax, who sold 5 acres of his cow pasture to make space for the stones.
My house from here is about 600, maybe 700 feet down there, and we didn't have a problem unless somebody was going to come and sacrifice one of my cows. Then I would have had a problem.
Did that happen?
No, it did not, but I did get nervous several times.
Mostly what's happened is a constant flow of tourists to Georgia's granite country. That's what this region is known for.
We do headstones and things of that nature, monuments. We do war memorials and things like that, but this really is one of the largest.
The Guidestones bring about 10,000 people a year to a town with a population of only about 4,500.
People all the way from Australia and China.
With all the tourism, is it possible that R.C. Christian was someone from Elberton that simply wanted to promote the area?
I'm thinking probably not, just because there was no marketing done really after the Guidestones were erected. If you're going to put up something of this nature, then you're going to market that, right? You're going to tell everyone.
One of R.C. Christian's conditions was that there'd be no tourist attractions on the land, no t-shirt shops or crystal necklace stands, but there's no stopping the cosmically curious and the theories they bring with them.
I try to get up here 3 to 5 times a week. The real secret is under there. At some point, these will come down, and there's a time capsule right under it.
There's actually been a lot of speculation about the existence of that buried time capsule.
There's some things you just don't tell everything.
Do you think it's there?
Let's just say I'm not going to answer that.
What's supposed to be in it?
Well, a lot of times there's capsules in different places with different things in it. And that could be the true identity to the group that Mr. Christian represents.
Maybe the time capsule's buried somewhere but not there.
I didn't say that.
That's just my speculation.
I didn't say that.
Whatever the reason, these slabs are built strong enough to stand on this earth longer than any of us, leaving a future generation guessing.
It's like looking at a painting. You can see the painting, but you don't know what the painter really meant. Whatever it means to you is what it means. There's no right or wrong.
G'day guys, sorry Beck's just been cut off, and it's great to be in fellowship with our beautiful family again. So Beck's going to have to reconnect. So yeah, Beck just wanted to put this about the Georgia Guidestones and all that, and this is what they want, but it's not what is written in the Bible, and Satan's plans will not be fruitful or anything like that. They will not come to pass because God is in control. That's the way it is. So I know that a lot of you have gone into the Georgia Guidestones. I think the Gates was behind it and all that sort of stuff as well. But when Beck reconnects, I'll get her to talk about it more than me. There she is.
Hi, sorry, guys. Yeah, we just had a
That's
bit of
all right.
a tech issue.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Welcome in. Welcome. Sorry about that, guys. Thanks. I didn't hear what you actually said about that, so sorry.
No,
I
that's
don't know
all
what
right.
you said about this. Yeah, so I just played the Georgia Guidestones there. I did want Messi to stop it on the part where it was right above the Georgia Guidestones, because you can see very clearly what is on top of that, and it's obviously been used quite a few times for you know what. And I wanted to bring that up because of what we're going through with the CV, and to say that I don't know if everybody here is aware, because we do have a lot of new viewers. So to bring up the fact of what the Georgia Guidestones was all about, and it was the 10 Commandments of the New World Order, which is the one and only that we really need to know, is number one, to keep humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. So they're telling you right there that their plan was to depopulate. And these stones were erected in 1986 by R.C. Christian, who R.C. Rosicrucian, and the guy that you would have heard on the video, who was on his property, he knew that it was that guy's name was fake. So yeah, thank you, Messi. That's what I wanted. Excellent. So if you have a look at that, this is a serious place, and it's in the middle of Georgia. We have Georgia in the house. Actually, we have in the house. I'm trying to think who it is from Georgia. Rayetta Lee. So she would obviously have been to these stones, and I'm sure that you've seen it coming down the sides of it as well, Rayetta. So I just thought for any of our new viewers that needed to know why we're doing these streams and what's really going on with us, is that we're showing you what the plans of the new government that will control the world, what their plans are, and revealing it to you just as they've revealed it to us, because they've done it through movies, television, radio, every single area of media. And I did want to read out some of the Book of Enoch, but I will let Growler do his hello, and then I will do that.
Okay. G'day everybody. It's great to be back in fellowship with you, as I said at the start, and I want to thank everyone for their prayers and the fellowship that we're having now, and we really all of us look forward to it. And you know, it's just a great time for like-minded believers in Yeshua that are all saved to come together, and because as most of us anyway here don't go to church, this is our church, and this is what church is all about. It's a gathering of us believers together, exposing Satan's plans. The only way through that, the only way that you can go through what we have to go through and what we're going to be put through, is being saved, covered in the blood of Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach. And that is our message. That is our message. And as I've said to Sis before, just quickly, you know, there's so many people in a coma. You know, you just want to try and wake them up and bring them to Yeshua, because He's the way, the truth, and the life. You cannot get to the Father only through Him. It's very, very simple. He makes it simple, but these Luciferians, all they do is want to divide and conquer and confuse everybody. So just quickly wanted to get that through. I'd just like to say quick hi to Vitaly. Good to see you in. I haven't seen you in before. Good to have you in, Vitaly. Cheyenne S, you are always on the ball. Great to have you in. Mike Guyer. Guyver. It's not MacGyver, is it? Sounds like MacGyver. Yeah, looks good. Like it. Welcome in, buddy. And Amanda Jean, great to have you in. Washburn Billy, and the lovely Ann Walsworth, our number one mod that we love so dearly. Yeah, you're very precious to us and great to have you in. Data Junkie, great to have you in. Bradda, Dedra Higgins, Amiga Dreo, Truth Seeds, great to have you in Truth Seeds. I think you're over in Western Australia. Just jot down what's happening over there. I know you've got the mandates coming down. I know McGowan's dropping the hammer down there with the mandates. Just if you can just let everybody know in the chat when everything's due and when you should have eat the first orange and then go to the second orange. So, yep, and Rayetta Lee, great to have you in, Rayetta Lee, and read Romans 10. Eric Dunaway, great to have you in, Eric. A248, great to have you in, and the beautiful Fudge from Victoria. Hope you're doing well down there, and just keep jotting stuff down in the chat and let us know what's going on. Great to have the information from boots on the ground down there. Lost in Victory, we have Will. Good to have you in, and the lovely, lovely Shirley Graham. Hope you're going well, and hope your health is getting better.
Love you, Shirley.
Hey.
I said we love you, Shirley.
Yeah, that's right. And Diane, good to have you in, McDaniel. Forgiven and blessed, always in. Thank you, sister. You're just great. And we love you guys very much. And Trixie Andrews, we are very proud of you, Trixie. You just keep getting stronger and stronger in the Lord, and just keep praying. And there's a very special hi, I'd like to say, to Rosette Lilly. And she's like our beautiful mum. She's a beautiful mum, and we love her very, very dearly. And her awesome son, Sam Wish, that's on our channel. We're with Sam, and Sam got baptized, guys. We're going to do a special video and do a special video and show you his baptism. He dove in the deep end and he got baptized, and he's a brand new man, so that's another soul saved. Oh, he was always saved anyway. He was always saved, and but he just sealed the deal. He sealed the deal, and we love him very much.
Yeah.
And he's a beautiful brother in Christ, and he's shown us a lot of love and compassion, and he's very, very protective of Christians. He was he lived a hard life, and these are the sort of people that that Yeshua actually picks because of their testimony and that sort of thing. But as he was growing up, he never ever hurt a Christian. He would never hurt a Christian. Anyone that hurts a Christian, he was backslidden, everything like that, he would belt the living daylights out of them. And these are the sort of warriors we need for the end of days. It's very, very important. Because we've got a fight on our hands as it is. So I just want to say a very quick, a big hi to Rosette and Sam. Can every single person on the stream, as Sam got baptized yesterday, can people please pray for Sam to fill him up with the Holy Spirit and to really work in his life? And we're seeing a lot of that in Sam now, and as we know, the Christian walk is very hard, and we've got to turn our backs to the world, and we've got to actually show Yeshua that we are serious, and we have to walk as well. So the Christian walk is very, very hard. So he's doing a really, really good job, and I want every single person on this stream to say a quick prayer for Sam. And of course his beautiful mother, and anyone else that I didn't say. Trisha, great, good to have you in. Trisha, you're always in. Great. Hope everything's going well. Laurie Mudge, thank you, Laurie, for coming in. I've seen you quite a few times. Hope everything's going well. Moment of truth. And of course, a big hi to the messy gentleman, the engine room of this stream. He's just awesome. Peter Barberia, great to have you in. And anyone else that I haven't mentioned, we'll do another big shout out as well, halfway or at the end of the stream. So thank you very much, guys. And back over to you, sister.
Okay, thanks, Crowler. Thanks
No
for
worries.
the update on Sam there.
On what?
Anyway, we're going to crack into the Book of Enoch for a second, okay?
Right.
This is really important. This is really something, guys. This is going to encourage us all, because when I read this before, I was like, oh, my gosh. So I wanted to start it off with this. I just wanted to give you a quick bit of the Georgia Guidestones for their showing you their depopulation program. Now, I'm reading from Enoch chapter XLIX.
Shut up, idiot.
Hang on, let me work that one out. Oh boy. L is 50. Hang on.
Shut up, would you?
XLIX. I'm trying to tell the people where they can read from. Now,
Well, stop
okay.
laughing and actually produce the words, my sister.
I said, you're the reason I'm laughing.
Yeah, well, I'm in another room, so I don't look that funny at the moment. But if
You're
I
in
walk
another
through, I would
realm.
be.
You're in another realm, mate, not another room.
Yeah. Oh, okay, well, it must be the coconut water, the watermelon coconut water.
The cocoa water. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's XLIX. So I think that is, well, X is 10 and L's 50, but then why is that behind that? Then 1 and X is 4. So that would be, I'm not sure.
Oh,
No,
okay, yeah,
Mum's
there
trying to find it. So anyway,
you go.
I'll
Okay.
I'll read. Okay. So listen to this, saints. This is awesome, guys. Listen, I was feeling really heavy this morning, and this has just made my day. Okay. In those days, the saints and the chosen shall undergo a change. The light of day shall rest upon them, and the splendor and glory of the saints shall be changed. In the day of trouble, evil shall be heaped upon sinners, but the righteous shall triumph in the name of the Lord of spirits, which is the Father. Others shall be made to see that they must repent and forsake the work of their hands, and that the glory awaits them not in the presence of the Lord of spirits, yet that by his name they may be saved. So that's really deep. I just want to touch on that for a minute. So it said, others shall be made to see that they must repent and forsake the works of their hands, and that glory awaits them not in the presence of the Lord of spirits, yet that by his name they may be saved. That's telling me it's not like the old doctrine of, oh, you're saved by the skin of your teeth. But what it is saying is there are going to be, it makes a lot of sense to me because I've been very frustrated at people not listening. And what it shows me is that they, as long as they repent in the very end and not take this poison, of course, but as long as they repent, they're going to be saved, because I haven't finished this yet. However, it does say that it won't, the glory doesn't await them in the presence of the Lord, yet they will be saved by his name. And then it says the Lord of spirits will have compassion on them, for great is his mercy, and righteousness is in his judgment, and in the presence of his glory, nor in his judgment shall iniquity stand. He who repents not before him shall perish. Henceforth I will not have mercy on them, saith the Lord of spirits. In those days the earth shall deliver up from her womb, and hell shall deliver up from hers that which has received, and destruction shall restore that which it owes. He shall select the righteous and the holy from among them, for the day of their salvation has approached. And in those days the elect one, Jesus, will sit upon his throne, and while every secret of intellectual wisdom shall proceed from his mouth, for the Lord of spirits has gifted and glorified him. In those days the mountains shall skip like rams, and the hills shall leap like young sheep, saturated with milk, and all the righteous shall become angels in heaven. Their countenance shall be bright with joy, for in those days the elect one will be exalted. The earth shall rejoice, and the righteous shall inhabit it, and the elect possess it. Yee-ha, ha, ha. So that to me is just amazing. So that was the book of Enoch, guys. That's probably why it mightn't have been very familiar to a lot of you. And if you guys don't know about the book of Enoch, just do a little bit of research into it. And I just read that for encouragement, because it says in those days we're going to be changed. In those days the saints and the chosen ones shall undergo a change. So good news. What do you reckon, Growler?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. It's always good news. That's always the best news. And like I said, we have to bring the horrible news to wake up people. But the only good news is exactly what you've gone through, because that's what gives us eternal life. you know.
Yeah, and it's very
And
frustrating.
yep.
I just want to let everybody know that, guys, we know that we seem to be reached past a point where people really won't listen anymore. And we're even lucky if people are stumbling across our channel, because they're not going to listen to you in real life. We've sort of proven that and worn ourselves out trying to tell them, and you can't make anybody see. And I know a lot of you personally in this chat room, and I know that the struggles we've all had. And I think we're at the point where we can just let go and let Father do it all, because this is the best thing that I can do to get word out. All of you guys that have got channels, that's the best thing we can do. Keep on the airwaves as long as we can, because we need Yeshua's voice on the airwaves, not Satan's airwaves. So what we need to do is to tell the people who want to listen. Preaching to the choir, I know. However, what do we do? I'm worn out trying. I know my friends on here are. And I think it's time, if you can get away, to get away. If you haven't prepared, you better really quick, because our shelves are going down here, and that's here. So our stocks are running out in our supermarket. So if you can do all of the above that we've been telling you guys to do for the last 2 years, please move on it now, because this country, we're gone. We're gone before you. Oh, I don't know, maybe we all go at the same time, who knows, but that's not something we need to worry about. It's really not, because the Father's got it in his hands. I know that. So the best advice I can give is get out of the front seat. Let Father drive. Let him drive. Don't drive anymore. I'm sick of it. Yeah, I lost the plot yesterday, and not lost the plot, but I'm just over trying to help people in that way. So I'll just do it here. And if I'm only preaching to the choir, well, that's okay. I'm fine with that. But hopefully people that don't know us will stumble across these live streams, and they will realize that there were people that really knew what was going on, and that everything's been a lie. History, time periods, ancient trees, giants, let's go on and on and on. But you could all day, but that's really the only part of what my message was for today, because I've been so busy, I didn't have time to really get anything together. I kind of did, but I wasn't feeling it, and I just thought that I would just bring you my message of hope from the book of Enoch there, and let Growler tell you guys what he's got for you and what's going on here. So and to let you know that, yeah, we're all good. We've had prayers answered. We've had miracles. There's a few more yet to go, but boy, I can believe for this for sure. I think, if our faith is counted to us as righteousness, then we better start believing big, because that'll increase our righteousness in his eyes, because that's all that makes us righteous is our faith. And if you got, he said, tell the mountain to move, tell it to get out of your way. So that's my my short, brief message. Thank you, Growler.
Okay.
Do you like my avatar, guys? You might be able to see.
I was just about to say that. To say that.
Yeah, I did want to explain what it is.
Yeah.
I've lost my bet from Oswan because I'm not at home. So Messi and I and Growler are not in the same place. So I had to get another avatar, and it's a typewriter, and it's called a Corona typewriter. And I took a photo of it this morning in a small country Masonic town in Australia. So that's what it is.
Well, you could have had a great. You could have had a.
Sorry?
You could have had a Growler with afterburner instead. That would have been better.
You've already got that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, mate. So tell us, what do you got for us today? I mean, I haven't heard what you say.
Yeah, well, I don't even know what I've got, so I'm just going. No, I'm joking. Yeah, look, I'm just going to keep building on Just adding to a little bit of, like I said, the last 2 live streams about COP26, about pre-COP26 at the Vatican, all this sort of stuff, and how that's how this is going to affect people, how it's going to affect religion, which none of us are religious. We're just believers in Yeshua, and we have a personal relationship with him. So it's not religious; it's just a relationship, and that's what we really push here. Now, as you've seen since this so-called pandemic, you know, with the C virus, how they started to do lockdowns, all this sort of stuff, and you know, where it was leading to restrict, to control, all this sort of stuff. So, you know, well, here in Australia, I think it was around the world as well, but not as much in America, that's for sure. But Europe and here, you know, you can't go within 5 kilometres of your house. You know, you can only leave for essential reasons. You know, and you know, they shut down air travel. You know, because everything was locked down, a lot of people weren't driving, so they weren't giving off emissions in their cars and all this sort of stuff. So you could see how they're building things. So because they're going on to the next phase, and as we went to had a look at COP26 and what was happening there, and that, as you see on the thumbnail, you know, worship of Mother Earth, and I've gone through this, and I'm not going to harp on it. You know, it's all about worshipping creation, not the creator. Okay, so it's got its roots in paganism down to the core, because that's what it is. And so. And there's another phase to this, because if you saw a COP26, they want to go to net zero emissions. They want to do this, they want to do that. So collapse the coal industry, collapse the iron ore industry, collapse the fossil fuel industry, petroleum, oil, all this sort of stuff. So the last year and a half, I mean, here in Australia, we got rid of our last 4 refineries. So our fuel gets refined over in Hong Kong or Singapore. So we send it over there, gets refined over there, and comes back here. So that's why we pay a lot more for it. And inflation bringing up fuel prices. So it's all about carbon tax offsets and all that sort of crap. I'm not going to go into it. And if you have a look what's happened in Syria, you have a look what's happened in Saudi, and how they've so-called extremists have blown up pipelines, and the Aramco facility in Saudi Arabia. So you can see what they're doing. You know, they're just moving from one level to the next. They're you know, getting rid of all the fossil fuels, coal, all this sort of thing. So if anyone's been following COP26 and you've seen the roadmaps for all these countries, you know, they're dropping coal, all this sort of stuff. So because they want you to go to the green renewables, because that pleases Mother Gaia, you know, and all that idea, all this idol crap and worshipping creation. So it's become a religion. It's become a religion. So what I want to present today is what you've seen. I'm just consolidating. I'm not going to go on and on about it. So I'm just going to read a few of the articles, and then I'm going to play a few of the videos, and then something that's not related to this, I'll be playing to sort of like reinforce what we've been saying for the last year and a half. So basically, we're going to climate lockdowns now, and probably with seed lockdowns as well. So they're going to be thrown in between what they're trying to achieve here. Now, I'm just going to read, this is straight after COP26. Now, the Indian Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, was a very, very big player in COP26. And he met with Pope Francis for 90 minutes pre-COP26, then moved on to Glasgow. So he was a very, very big player, and we know the emissions that India lets out and all that sort of thing. And as we've said before, Sis, I said it about maybe 5 or 6 months ago. I said they're going to use these sea lockdowns, you know, for their climate lockdowns, because there's hardly anyone driving, or not hardly anyone, but a lot of people aren't driving. You know, there's no planes flying, all this sort of stuff. So it's going to clean up the atmosphere, and they're going to use that as an excuse to take out all the fossil fuels and bring in the green energy.
Too bad
and
they didn't stop chemtrailing then. That would have helped if they would have stopped doing that.
Would have. Absolutely, it would have. So I'm just going to say you can see what they're starting to build now. They're going from one phase to the other. But like I said, these brand new scariants that they bring on, they're going to keep locking that down as well. So you're going to have a double whammy here, you know, and the level of control is going to be more, because if they start saying there's a new variant and we need to do climate lockdowns, can you imagine they bring in a lot more control, and this is what they want. So I did have a look at this. I found this just quickly too. I had something in my head. Yeah, and I will follow this. Someone, I think it's Jeanette on the chat, she said Prince Charles is going over to Egypt. Can you just put something in the chat about that, and I'll have a look at that. So that's going to tie in with what I'm saying. So I did come across this. And I knew these climate lockdowns would start somewhere straight after COP26 because they're running out of time and they want to bring in more control because people are starting to wake up. You know, it's a 99% recovery rate from the sniffles that they're trying to tease everyone with and trick everyone with, for people to eat those oranges, and don't eat those moldy oranges. It's very bad for you. So what I want to do here, so New Delhi air pollution is so bad, officials are calling for a city-wide lockdown. Okay, so if we just go up there. Thanks, miss. Thanks, mate. Jenny, is that as big as you can get it? Sorry about that, mate. It's old age. Yeah, thanks. So I'm just going to read two. I'm just going to read two articles because I like to cross-reference things and you know, try and be as on the money as we can. India's Supreme Court is calling for a lockdown in the capital, New Delhi. It's because of a health emergency, another health emergency. So it's all for your health, people. But it's not about C-19. It's about air pollution. At a hearing Monday, Justices ordered authorities to halt all non-essential travel on roads in the national capital region. And New Delhi's a big damn area, you know, millions of them. They also told them to close offices in the area, shifting tens of millions of people to work from home. So they're going back to work from home. Now, the next live stream, I'm going to show you what they're going to do with all the cities, because there's so many people that are working from home. All the cities and commercial real estate is empty, and I'm going to tell you in the next live stream what they're going to use that for. At a hearing Monday, Justice that's right, sorry, I'll should have gone down to the next paragraph. Excuse me, guys. It's unclear if or when such lockdown would take effect, which I have heard that is definitely going ahead, or how long it might last. Delhi's air quality appeared to ease slightly Monday. The AQI is now in the low 400s on a 500-point scale. Last week, it was off the charts in some areas. Delhi's chief minister has indicated his willingness to impose a pollution-related lockdown, but has said it would have minimal effect without similar measures from neighbouring states. I mean, I don't have to say anymore. It speaks for itself. Officials from the states of Punjab, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh plan to hold meetings Tuesday. Okay. New Delhi schools are already closed this week because of the air pollution. That's been about 4 times the safe limit. Construction sites are also on pause, which will ultimately slow the economy, which is another. See, there's so many levels and of what these people can achieve. They can smash the economy, they can control people, they can put people out of work, they can, you know, it's just endless. So if they do one thing, it's got about 10 different fail-safe mechanisms where they can fall back, because it takes 10 different things all in one lockdown. So they're very, very smart strategists, these people. This is all because of the toxic smog across much of northern India. It happens every winter as industrial Vehicular emissions, that's new, I haven't heard of that, mixed with the smoke from crop burning after the harvest. While farmers have often been blamed for exacerbating the pollution problems, government lawyers told the Supreme Court on Monday that crop burning amounts to only about 10% of emissions. One justice responded by saying it might be even lower. So what they're going to do is they're going to stop people from driving cars. They're going to stop people from doing this. So what they're going to do is put in rise everything, inflation basically. So whatever the price of fuel, is, they're just going to keep raising the price of fuel because people haven't got any money. They can't afford to drive, so they basically achieve the same result that they want to. So everyone's still at home and controlled, which is what they want. Some of the schools forced to shut this week had only just reopened for the first time in nearly 20 months because of C-19. So now they're closing the schools again. Meanwhile, India pushed for a watered-down language in a final declaration at the UN Climate Summit in Glasgow. Over the weekend, it ended up calling for coal to be phased down rather than to be phased out. Now, every country is doing this. Every country is phasing out coal. Australia is just about gone, and a lot of other countries as well. A revision that angered some delegates, choking back tears, of course, they're crying. The COP26 president said, now, if you have a look at the COP26 president, the guy that was in charge, his name is Alok Sharma, and he's a Hindu. And he's part of the One World religion that I'll bring up in a later video after this. One Indian newspaper called the revised language in COP26 declaration a major win for India and its international diplomacy. So I'll leave the rest of that there, guys. I'm going to go to the next article now. As I said, I like to cross-reference things,
mate.
so you can. Oh, I don't. Oh well, it's no. God does the work. I don't do anything. He's the only one that. He's the only one that does it all. He tells me what to look for and tells me what to present, and I will never disobey his orders ever.
Nice to see that you ask him.
Yeah. I've got, well, I do have a choice, but yeah, I would never say no to the big boss, that's for sure. Delhi considers new lockdown, this time for pollution, not CV. Okay, so New Delhi, that's a nice name. I won't try and, I'll probably swallow my tongue if I actually try and say his name. Two teenage boys spent much of the past 18 months cooped up in their home in the outskirts of India's capital. Normal life resumed only in September when C-19 cases subsided and their school reopened. The freedom didn't last long. Their mother said this week, Raghav is again locked at home, unable to attend school or play outdoors. Krishna is again wheezing and huddled next to a vapor machine to ease his laboured breathing. Poor kid, poor kid. The pandemic hasn't returned. New Delhi's notorious air pollution has. So what a great way to do another lockdown through climate change. As a thick, toxic haze envelopes northern India, officials in Delhi this week shut schools, closed government offices, and ordered a halt to construction projects, adopting measures reminiscent of the pandemic. So it's the same sort of thing. Same sort of thing, because a lot of people aren't buying, lockdowns anymore and that sort of thing. So they'll do it for the earth, won't they? They'll do it for, the health of the people and the futures of our children. Excuse me. With a measurement of harmful airborne particles hovering at 20 times the safe limit recommended by the World Health Organization, aren't they great? Delhi officials said Monday that they have drawn up plans to redeploy another familiar strategy, a full lockdown of the capital. And we'll just keep going up there, mate, if that's all right. Thank you, mate. Coming a few months after shoppers, students and workers began to gingerly venture outdoors following a deadly sea wave this spring, Delhi's response to its air crisis and talk of a renewed lockdown are shattering any sense of normalcy that was gradually settling over the region of 17 million residents. Imagine locking down 17 million residents. Okay, they were so happy to be back in school in October after almost 2 years, and now they're back at home. Nicole said about her two boys who she worries are struggling to focus on upcoming standard exams as they bounce in and out of the classrooms. So this is another little psyop of the lockdowns. It's, as everyone knows, it sends you crazy, all this sort of stuff. You know, they can't go out and live normally. So, you know, this is why you've got so many behavioural changes around the world, because people have been cooped up for so long. Sends them crazy, but this is what the elites want. I don't call them elites, I call them dogs. This is what the dogs want. That's actually horrible towards dogs. Sorry about that. I'll find another swear word later on. There's no stability, no sanity, Nicole said. First it was CV and now it's pollution. There is no end to it. But how can you expose your kids to that air? You choke, you literally choke. While Delhi citizens fumed in recent days about the air quality, the issue has been litigated in the country's Supreme Court, where judges grilled Delhi officials about their plans to solve what was approaching a full-fledged emergency. Just go up there. Thanks, mate. Okay. At a closely watched hearing this past weekend, one judge complained that people had to wear masks at home. See what I mean? Because of pollution, you're going to have to wear masks, okay? So they're dragging the same thing again. They keep dragging the same thing. So people keep wearing the mask and keep going to the ritual, and it just goes on and on and on. But what they do, I mean, if you have a look at Japan, you have a look at China, they've always worn masks, okay, because of pollution. So that's why they say you've got to wear a mask because of the pollution. So it's just another, it's, you know, it's true what they're saying, but, you know, they just want you to wear it to continue this demonic ritual. Delhi's air was indeed so poor, a lawyer representing the city government told the bench that breathing it for a day was equivalent to smoking 20 cigarettes. Okay, I've got to stop smoking 20 cigarettes a day. By Monday, Delhi officials announced that they had drafted a plan to lock down the city for a few days. It will go much longer than that, don't you worry. A measure that had never been implemented until the CV break last year. So as you can see, the lockdowns will never stop. This is the next phase of what's happening. It's just unreal. So they're going to limit to where you can drive. They're going to limit to how long that you can have your lights on for. You're going to have to switch to solar. You're going to have to do all this. So all I'm trying to say, as I was saying to you last night, sister, and to Sam and beautiful mum, how many times, how long has everyone turned off a light for Earth Day? How long? How long's that been going for? So as you can see, that they've had this in the pipe works and in the they've had this in the works for decades and decades and decades. These people know what they're doing. They aren't stupid, so don't treat them as stupid. Just try and figure them out. Just try and figure them out and stay ahead of these people. That's what it's all about. It's not clear if when city officials would make such a move. Delhi's top elected leader called for a lockdown, an extreme step, but one he would take if he had backing for them of the leaders of neighbouring regions and branches of the central government. So they do. I mean, it's going ahead. We know that the papers, the United Nations, central banks, WEF, IMF, and all the others, they're the ones. These guys are the ones that actually put down the rules. They say, right, India, you do that now. Australia, you do that now. Europe, you do that now. America, you do that now. So I'm going to go through the whole article because, as I said, I really implore you guys to do your own research and research it for yourself because I find that very beneficial. So as you can see, the climate lockdowns and the green energy that we've all talked about, they're going to the green economy. Charles was talking about that in COP26. They want to shift to it very quick. So I'll tell you how long they've had these plans going for, and this is just in Melbourne, and that Melbourne is a strong city, and that's I mean, this is where they're doing it all around Australia, but they're really enforcing it in Melbourne first. So I'm not sure if people have heard of 20-minute suburbs. 20-minute suburbs are if you've seen all these housing estates going up and solar panels on houses and all this sort of stuff, they started that a long time ago. And I'll try and put in the description in the description box if Mess could do that at some point. If you can put 20-minute suburbs Melbourne planning, it just covers everything there. It'll be too much to go through on the live stream, and like I said, I really implore you guys to go through it yourself, because educating yourself is very important. Now, 20-minute suburbs. I've just played. I'm going to play a 35-second video, and this is all part of the Green Gaia worship of creation and the rest. So if we can just play the video, and then I'll explain a little bit after. Okay. Can everybody hear me? Yep, cool. Dun, dun, dun. Can everyone hear me? Sorry about that. Dun, dun, dun. Can everybody hear me? Yep, good. Sorry about that. So these 20-minute neighbourhoods. So this is going, as you see with the sea lockdowns. If you see with the climate lockdowns, you cannot go within 5 or 10 kilometres of your home. What they're going to do, and this is why they built all these 20-minute neighbourhoods, you are not allowed to go out of those 20-minute neighbourhoods, okay? Because with these 20-minute neighbourhoods, if you do go into it and really look into it, they've brought in electric cars, they've brought in all this sort of crap. You will not be able to own a petrol car. You will, and most of the houses here, if people have got enough money to buy an electric car, 3/4 of the people, they have to turn their garages into hanging gardens. Now, it's got a bit of a link to the hanging gardens of Babylon. Going back to Babylon, everything's got to be green. And it's all about control as well. So I find, you know, back in 2019, 2018, any time before this pandemic, the freedom that we had was just unbelievable. You could jump on a plane, go to America. You could jump on a plane, go to Europe. You could drive anywhere you like. There was no restrictions, all this sort of stuff. Now, when you come down to 20-minute neighbourhoods and they start bringing climate lockdowns and the Green New Agenda and all this sort of stuff, I have seen, and I've really had a look at this, and I've said this to Sis, since 2019, going from sea lockdowns to climate lockdowns, going to 20-minute neighbourhoods, and how they've controlled everything. If you go into a 20-minute neighbourhood, they've got a shopping centre, they've got a barber, they've got all this sort of stuff. With these 20-minute neighbourhoods, if no one will have a car, the only thing you're allowed to do is ride a bike or have an electric car and not go out of your neighbourhoods. So you can see where all this is going. It's all control. So I wanted to bring another side of these lockdowns coming in and how they're going to control you to live, because they've already started doing this. They've already started doing this with the first wave of lockdowns. So they're conditioning. You're having the control. You can only do this. You can only go out for essential reasons. And they're restricting things even more, just quickly over in Germany, Austria, the Netherlands as well, especially in Austria. Now they're locking down the unjuiced people. Okay, you can only go out for certain reasons. And if you are caught doing what you're not supposed to be doing, you're caught shopping and that sort of, you get, I think it's a $2,300 fine. So the next wave of this with the climate lockdowns, unjuiced lockdowns for the unjuiced and climate lockdowns, and you're going to have more variants of this bullcrap virus. You're going to have more versions of it. So what they're doing is they're just piling on the pressure for control. And they're passing new laws. You have a look at the new pandemic laws in Melbourne. So the new pandemic laws in Melbourne, they will starting to do climate lockdowns, and this pandemic bill actually goes through that, and I'll go through that at another stage, because I still haven't downloaded the legislation yet. I think it's 113 pages, and just quickly with this new pandemic law as well, people think that it's not going to go through. Well, then you go and fight the World Economic Forum and International Mafia Fund and the United Nations and the papacy, so good luck with that one. But everything's written in the book that all this is going to come to pass anyway. So I just wanted to provide just a brief overview of what we're going to expect next, okay? It wouldn't surprise me if some massive event that they blame on climate change really does the same thing as what the C19 virus did. So they're going to play by the same playbook, and they're just going to go hard, and they're going to restrict you even more. Okay, so I mean, you go from one level to the next, so it's just going to be more crushing and more crushing, where people submit. The only thing you can do is go out and take the juice. This is what it's all about. All this sort of stuff is to take the juice. The ultimate goal of this is to take the juice. Can you imagine what's in it? You know, I mean, geez, 99% recovery rate from the sniffles. So all I wanted to do is just actually provide you just with what to expect with the next wave of how it's going to go around the world. And like I said, after COP26, they've already organised what they've got to do, and the next wave is climate lockdowns. Now, as I said, it goes into Gaia worship. It does all this sort of stuff, and the one world religion, you know, where everyone accepts everyone, and all this sort of crap, you know. And as believers, you know, we're not to judge people. We're not to judge people. We're supposed to love them. We're supposed to pray for them. That's what we're supposed to do. And I find, look, it gets me frustrated too, guys. You know, we all lose our cool sometimes. That's just the human nature. But what I wanted to do, and I've presented this in other live streams, what happened at COP26, what's happening with the climate lockdowns, it's basically a religion. It's a Gaia worship religion. So I've got one more video to play. It goes for about 3 minutes 50. So this is the Abrahamic House is opening in 2022. I don't know what date. They haven't given us a date yet. So this is part of the climate Gaia one world religion, with its roots deeply cemented in paganism. So if we can just play the next video.
The World Expo in Dubai became the site of a significant interfaith meeting. Jews, Christians, and Muslims came together to take yet another step forward in encouraging dialogue between religious leaders.
We are pleased to be able to host this event that brings together scholars, clerics, and intellectuals for interfaith dialogue and action.
Among those present were a delegate of the Imam of Al-Azhar, the Catholic Apostolic Vicar of Southern Arabia, and Rabbi David Rosen of the American Jewish Committee.
One of the remarkable things of our time is that interfaith relations is a growing exponential reality. Never in human history has there ever been as much cooperation, collaboration between the religions as today.
I don't expect the world to change from one week to the next, but I've been here for almost 18 years. In these past years, I've seen developments that allow society to be more at peace. Their meeting included the launch of the Global Tolerance Alliance, an initiative which showcases projects that embody interfaith dialogue. For example, the work of the Order of Malta in countries such as Lebanon.
We are active in Iraq, in Syria, in Lebanon, in Palestine, and especially in Lebanon, we have very formal cooperation in running clinics together with the Shiite, the Sunni, and the Druze communities in a very successful way.
During his speech, the Order's Grand Chancellor outlined an area which still needs more attention: He said that the role of religion is undervalued in advancing diplomacy.
It is estimated that by 2050, the global percentage of believers will grow from the current 84 to 87%. Foreign policy and diplomacy are strongly intertwined with religion. Despite this, the role of religion in the foreign affairs of states is still relatively unexplored.
This event was formed out of this significant moment. In 2019, Pope Francis and the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar jointly signed a document on human fraternity. It was an important push for interreligious dialogue at a critical moment. Recent years have seen the world watch the brutal effects of religious fanaticism, with the rise of the Islamic State and waves of terror attacks throughout Europe. This signature marked a significant step as one of the most influential leaders in Sunni Islam explicitly condemned religious forms of terrorism in no uncertain terms. As a result, more Muslim leaders began to speak out against using religion for violent ends, and their voices began to be heard.
Would you like to see the Pope up close and personal? Download the Rome Reports app right now on your phone. There are versions available for...
So as with the last two live streams, you know, you had pre-COP26, you had COP26, Vatican's in charge of this. They're in charge of the one world religion, Gaia worship, and oh, what's that red dot on his head? So what I'm trying to say is everything that you're seeing in front of you, what's happening is run by the Antichrist. The spirit of the Antichrist, which is the Roman Catholic Church. I'm not saying that the Catholic people are. I got nothing against these people. It's the institution here, okay? Because basically you're looking at Satan. So what I'm trying to do is just consolidate it, so you can see what Gaia worship. You can see what climate lockdowns, you can see the religion, the green religion side of this. And as they said, signing the Pact on Human Fraternity and bringing Laudato Si, the 7-year plan, it's all totally Antichrist. That's what it is. And if you have a look at the ecumenical movement, bringing in all these faiths and making this one world religion, it's all pretty easy to see. So you can see it's just about complete. All they've got to do is open up the Abrahamic house in the UAE, and all this crap will be worshipped over in the UAE, and they're going to start putting Abrahamic houses everywhere, just like little churches, and they're going to replace churches with Abrahamic house churches. So you can see where it's all going. I just wanted to quickly just try and consolidate it as much as I could. I do like to ramble on, and I feel sorry for you guys actually listening to my dribble. Sorry about that. But I just want to try and paint a more complete picture, so you can see where it's going, because every time I look at all this crap and I try and uncover what these guys are doing and that sort of thing, it just drives me closer to Yeshua, because you see how evil why would you want to be part of this world? I mean, why would you want to be part of it? Just get rid of everything. The only thing you need is Jesus Christ and his blood, who saved you. And that's what our message is. And there's a lot of people walking over the cliff in a damn coma, you know, and that's what we're trying to do, is wake you people up. If you walk over the cliff and we're screaming, well, you know, that's your fault. So now there is one more video that's not related to any of this, and I found this very, very prophetic, and I love this movie before I actually woke up to it. And as we've been talking about the Hydra and what's in the juice and all this sort of stuff, this guy has put a video together. He's got a very low sub count. I think we'll put his video in the description box anyway, and make sure you guys show him some love. The only thing that I'm a bit iffy about is if you've seen halfway through the video, you see that creature walking. I think that just, I'm not looking at that, but it just wouldn't surprise me if that is going to happen. That is going to happen. But everything else that he put through this video is really good. And it just basically cements what we have been presenting for over a long time. So if we can just play that video, that'd be great. Thanks, Miss.
Well, if I'm like a child, then, look, maybe you should teach me.
Sky people cannot learn, you do not see.
Then teach me how to see.
No one can teach you to see.
Whoa.
He hath blinded their eyes and hardened their heart, that they should not see with their eyes, nor understand with their heart, and be converted, and I should heal them.
Dana! No! Atokirina! Atokirina.
What are they?
Seeds of the sacred tree. Very pure spirits.
Uh-huh.
The desire of our soul is to thy name, and to the remembrance of thee. With my soul have I desired thee in the night, yea, with my spirit within me will I seek thee early. For when thy judgments are in the earth, the inhabitants of the world will learn righteousness.
What was that all about?
Come.
The black liquid had the ability to transform and mutate any organism that it came in contact with.
Big things have small beginnings. Organic.
The mutation took place on a genetic level and even made the host organism highly hostile towards others. Now, it is often believed that the engineers played God and created both humans and xenomorphs. One of the creatures that were formed because of the black liquid was a trilobite. It looked like a mix between an arthropod and an octopus. The trilobite came into being when an infected Dr. Holloway impregnated Elizabeth Shaw.
It's us.
It's not exactly a traditional fetus.
Creature grew within Elizabeth at an exponential rate, and she survived by extracting it from her womb using a cesarean. After coming out of her body, it developed pretty quickly into a huge tentacled monster and impregnated an engineer with a deacon. Now, while the trilobite holds many similarities with the facehuggers of the Alien universe and other important questions, such as how it could grow in size without the need for any biomass, it was only unconscious, and it later grew into a massive squid-like organism.
Why?
Sometimes to create, one must first destroy.
I think we can trick the nervous system into thinking it's still alive.
However, the trilobite needed a womb to grow up in, amniotic sac and amniotic cord, so that it would take nourishment from the mother. As far as changing Shaw's DNA structure is concerned, it had significantly changed because Shaw's barren womb was made fertile. So basically, instead of giving birth to a chestbuster or a newly formed xenomorph, Shaw gave birth to an entity that served as a facehugger. It is made evident because the trilobite then went on to attack and impregnate the last engineer from whom a Deacon came out and then matured. So in the case of a trilobite and Deacon, there are 2 impregnations, while in the case of the xenomorph, there's just 1 impregnation. It is often argued that the engineers were the ones who messed up scientifically with the black liquid to create biomechanical weapons, the result of which was the xenomorphs. To sum it all up, it could be assumed that xenomorphs are the result of careful scientific experiments with the black liquid, while the trilobite and Deacon are the results of a more rudimentary and natural exposure to the black liquid with the human reproductive system. However, one specific genus named the Dicraneris trilobite had tentacled bodies and 2 thick and heavy spines protruding out of their backs that resembled ram-like horns. While the trilobite from the film doesn't necessarily evoke its ancient namesake, it bears a small resemblance with the Dicraneris trilobite. It seems that the production wanted its creature to be as close to nature as possible, and hence even the Deacon doesn't have a biomechanical outlook and looks more organic than xenomorph drones. However, we have to keep in mind that it was an alien life form, and hence it is beyond the biological conventions that normal organisms follow with respect to development and growth. The trilobite may be a physiologically simple creature, and all it needs is that its cells replicate manifolds in a short span of time to grow in size. The cell division requires a large amount of energy, and once the rate of cell division becomes 0, organisms die of natural causes. Naturally, if an organism was to have an accelerated rate of cell division, its lifespan would be considerably short. As far as xenomorphs are concerned, the bulk of their energy goes into rapid aging and development. Such is the case with a trilobite, and it would be safe to assume that it starts off with dense volumes of stored energy at birth and expend all of its stored energy into developing at an enhanced rate. You might be surprised to know that the rhubarb triangle, an area between Wakefield, Leeds, and Bradford, grows the majority of rhubarb in the world. The crop is kept in extremely dark sheds and supplied with nutrients for a couple of years. During this time, it hardly grows in size, but keeps absorbing nutrients. After a while, light is added to the dark sheds, and then the rhubarb plant grows at such an exponential rate that one can hear the squeaking and popping. It also theorized that xenomorphs eat what their hosts eat, but they could also sustain themselves on several inorganic materials. The facehugger wouldn't have attacked David because he didn't smell like a living being. He didn't have moist breath and other similar features that living beings possess. But with time, it grew into an extremely violent beast with incredibly large and powerful tentacles. Interestingly enough, it grew to this gargantuan size in very little time and without the need for any biomass intake. After the impregnation, the trilobite itself dies.
I have longed for thy salvation, O Lord, and thy law is my delight. Let my soul live, and it shall praise thee.
So that's just something else I wanted to throw in there, because I came across that today actually, and I felt if you have a look at the avatar with the Hydra coming down, and if you have a look at the beings, that they look like they're blue as well, and they do look like Nephilim or whatever you want to call them, or avatars. I don't know. So I just wanted to bring that side of because I actually forgot. I used to love Avatar, and I forgot about that, and that actually reminded me. So maybe that might throw in another. It's another thing into the mix that we can look at, because these people, I mean, you have a look at these science fiction shows, all these science fiction shows, there's a lot of truth in them. They're passed off as science fiction. So they're basically laughing at you in front of your face, saying, hey, this is what we're going to do. And you think it's science fiction. Hey, we're ahead, we're not you. So that's all I wanted to present today. Just with what I've gone through about climate and all that sort of things, and just I'll leave everything in the description box. And yeah, I find this guy's video just yeah, hit his channel, show him some love, and he's got some really good stuff. So Just want to thank
Thanks,
you,
mate.
everyone. Thank you very much.
Sorry, I got lost in transit because my own internet on my phone kept dropping out, so I had to connect to the home base. So sorry about that.
So you should be.
Oh, okay.
I'm joking.
So I'm going to
So-
have to rewatch this because I didn't even hear anything you said for the last
Yeah.
5 minutes.
Oh, me neither. Me neither. Yeah, but no,
No.
it's yeah. So
As long as everybody
uh,
else did, it doesn't matter if you heard it or not.
yeah, I know. So you're the boss and you're back on, sis.
I'm not the boss, but I did need to say we needed to talk to people about the facility. A lot of them were, saying that it's this, it's that, oh, it's been there forever. I just wanted you to
Yeah.
clear that up about our last
Yeah.
video about the re-education camps for everybody.
Yeah.
So that we didn't want to put the coordinates in, guys, because we're just making ourselves a full target then. But we did give the address. So that is the,
Okay.
that's,
Yeah.
so I'll let
Oh,
you
look,
tell them,
yeah.
okay? Because
Okay.
it's not what people think.
No, that's right. So quickly, I did a live stream about it. I think it was 10 or 15 live streams ago. Now, I'm just going to quickly tell you guys something so you can actually see that it was actually for the people not eating oranges in reality. Okay. Because if you see in a lot of countries, all these illegal immigrants come over and all this, and then they've got to put them in transit centres, and then the trouble ones, they put in those sort of facilities that we showed on our last video. Now, if you have a look at all the Australian immigration detention facilities, okay, you have a look at Christmas Island, you have a look at all that. Now, isn't it funny that since 2015 and 2016, they started to empty them out. And then you have a look at big companies like Serco, ACOM, Multiplex, all those sort of massive companies. And all these companies do a lot of outsourcing for Department of Defence work. They do civil, military defence, all this sort of stuff. The massive multi-billion-dollar companies, trillion-dollar companies. So what they've done, people say, well, they're only immigration detention facilities. In some sort of truth, yes, they were. Yes, they are, because that's what they were used for. But their real purpose now, isn't it funny how they've all been emptied since 2015, 2016? Most of them are damn well empty. I wonder why. And I can pull up this proof for you. Yes, we know it's an immigration detention facility, all this sort of stuff. We know that. But they built these facilities, calling them immigration detention facilities, which they are on the outside, but they knew this pandemic was coming. And that's why they've emptied them out, and that's where they're going to start putting people. Okay? That's just the way it is. And I can bring up proof that all these facilities are just about empty, especially the one that we filmed. Actually, there was no one in it. There was no one in it. Okay.
No.
And look, I will actually put priority that, and I might do a stream in the next 3 or 4 days. So I can actually prove this to people because I do have the proof that most of these facilities are empty. And what have they done with the immigrants? I'll tell you what they've done with the immigrants. If you have a look at people that are losing their jobs left, right and centre because they don't want to take the juice, they've already got these immigrants to take the juice. They pay them a quarter of the price than what they pay these Western people. Okay, so the businesses, they're using these cheap laboured immigrants, and they've used them as jabbing orange. They're orange juicing them. So they're getting so much done with it. So it says to the immigrants, all these the big boys, if you wanna have a job here in Australia, we'll provide this for you. All you've got to do is take the juice, and it's much more cheaper labour for the bigs. The bigs are getting bigger, so they're actually employing all these immigrants on a much lower wage because Western people are very spoiled. They're born with a spoon in them. They're born with a spoon in their mouth. If you have a look at China, they're used to things being taken off them. They're already trained. We're living in communism. So what they've done is they've actually used these immigrants as cheap labour to their advantage, because they know that the people won't take the juice here. So they give the juice to these people, and then they only pay them quarter of the amount of money that they'll pay Western people. So that is why they've emptied out all the immigration detention facilities. So they've used them to take the jobs of the Western people, and in turn that empties out all the immigration detention facilities ready for the unjuiced people. Okay, that's how they do it. I will go through this at a later stage. I might, like I said, I might do something 3 or 4 days in about 3 or 4 days. But these are the things that people aren't seeing. These are the things that people aren't seeing. You know, these so-called elites and all this sort of stuff. You know, they just don't consider humans to be humans. You know, they don't care who they use. You know, these are the people you're dealing with, which is really, really sad. But as I said, I'll do a much bigger comprehensive thing about that, and I can actually prove that to you. So yeah, you know, they're using third world immigrants and coming over from third world countries, you know, cheap way to jab them and, you know, take their soul. They don't care. Pay them a quarter of the price, empty out the facilities. And, you know, that in turn makes the facilities ready for the unjuiced to receive the unjuiced. That's just the way it is. And there's just a lot of, I mean, the things that I still can't work out. It's just the way it is. You're there. So, but yeah, as I said, this is what they're doing, and I'll do something about that in the next 3 or 4 days, and we'll go on from there. Are you there, sister? I don't think she is. I think she's having a
yes, mate,
connection.
I am. I'm so sorry. Just because we're working on a different system today, we've been having a few technical problems, but we will be able to get that sorted for next time. I know what's wrong now. So, because this is the first time we've ever done a live stream, not from where we used to be. So, and we'd love to just thank you all for all your prayers. A special, really big special thank you to my best friend Vicky Towns for getting together with me and standing with me and praying, and then the prayer was answered the next day. So Vicky, if you're listening, I love you, sister. And everybody here, you guys, I know you pray for us. I know you do. I can feel it. And we've had we've got through the worst. I believe now. I think we're through the worst of it. Even though the world's going to get a lot worse, I think in our personal journey, we're through the worst of it. So I'm praying for all you guys as a collective whole, that each and every one of you is looked after and fed and sheltered, and just stay under his wings, because there is nowhere else we're going to find any shelter. And it's going to get rougher before it gets better. So hopefully we will overcome. Not hopefully, we will overcome. Growler's now behind me. So I don't know, he's over there, then he's there, then he's here. So, and he's talking in the background. He's going to get in trouble. Guys, I really, really thank you for joining us. And I would like to say a prayer for Vernon Daniels. Vernon, if you're still here, we love you. And Father in heaven, I ask you to touch Vernon. I ask you to give him strength, to give him knowledge and wisdom, to keep his brain active, to keep him close to you, Father. Please, 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 Father. We know it's not long, so please just, and that goes for all of us, please care for us, love us all, keep us under the shadow of your wings, because we are weak, but when we are weak, you are strong. So thank you, Father, for everything you do. Thank you for Vernon, and we trust him under your wings. Thanks. So My dog is going crazy on the driveway. If you can hear this really funny growling, yeah, I don't know if you can hear that. No, she's having a great time over there. She's loving it. So, oh dear. Yeah. How do you say Kava's name? Kava. Sorry, I always have trouble. Hi, Growler says hi, Kava. And Adrian and I were just talking about that before. And now that he's coming after the children, that's a game changer. And, you know, maybe the chess moves, even though that the devil is already checkmated, he's still running for those last few moves to finish the game. But now he's come after the children. Let's pray. It's over. You know, that any minute it's over. I hate thinking about a 7-year tribulation or that we'd have to go through that, because I can't imagine being here another 7 years. I can't even imagine being here another 2. So, and I know that goes for a lot of us. I'm not alone in that. But that doesn't mean that that's how it would be. And we all, anyway, here we go. Beck's lost it. Here's one for the evening memes. Oh, guys, if you haven't been to the evening memes channel, go to the evening memes channel. Okay, so it's a new channel that Messi has started for us, and I'm sure he's going to use what I just did, you know, when I just drop out. So it must be getting Alzheimer's or something. I'm not sure, but no, I want to thank you very much, Growler. Just say thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you very much, guys. Love you guys very much, and hope you got a little bit of info out of the stream tonight. Thanks very much.
Cool. Thanks, mate. Yeah, Mike Guyver, I'm homesick too. Everybody's homesick. We need to go to heaven. That's why we're homesick. So we'll get there. Yeah, Vernon, it won't be long. It won't be long, no, Beck. It's almost time for the reaping of the wheat. Exactly, Vernon. I know. Eric Dunaway, thank you very much for being in the house. Joe, I love you, Joe. How about we do a live stream soon, mate? I'll give you a call, Joe. Subdue Light, thanks for coming in again. It's good to see you. You're nearly here every time. Worthy is the Lamb, welcome. You're new. Thank you for coming. Amanda Jean, Remnant, welcome in. Just saying welcome to our new people here, because there's a lot of you that I don't know. Remnant, yeah. And to all of my mods here, I love each and every one of you. Please continue to pray for each other. Stay in touch with each other. Find out if you've all got channels and show each other some love. Let's get some support going here. Guys, Joe is in the house, Effed Up World. Go show him some love. Bubba News is in the house. Go show Bubba some love. Bubba's got a new channel, though. It was called, what was it, Bubba? I'm going to go right back here. Bubba on Your Side. Okay, so that's Bubba's new channel. Ann Walsworth, please go show Ann's channel some love. Yeah. Super Dave 44, he's not in the house tonight, but go and visit Dave. Tell him we sent you. Give him our love. DJ Nazi, always good to see you. Are you cold over there yet? I bet you are. Shirley Graham, you're there too. I love you, Shirley. Vicky Oliver, good evening, ma'am. And there's Shirley. Love you, Shirley. Christopher, Chris, Chris. I love you, Chris. I'll talk to you soon, okay? In a minute. Now, Trixie. Hey, Trixie, you've been quiet, but thank you, and thank you to all of you guys sending emails. Peter Williams, Trixie, Fudge, you guys, thank you for your emails. Keep them coming, okay? Anybody, the email address, Messi will drop the link for that right away for you. Washburn Billy. I looked you up, Washburn Billy. You look like quite a character. You look like you'd be good to know. I did look you up last week, so you welcome, Washburn Willie. And Elizabeth Borison. Hello, sweetheart. How are you? You're always good information. Sharpest Blade, welcome. Good channel. Everybody go show Sharpest Blade some love. Now, NC, welcome, Anne. I know you've been there all that time. Bill, hey, Bill. Bill Stegman's in the house. Angela Curran, good to see you again, Angela. And read Romans 10, how are you? Karen and Preston, why aren't you blue? I've known you for a long time. There you go, you are now. And that's about it, guys. I think, you know, if anything major breaks or anything, we'll just jump on, do a quick video, and let you guys know instantly. Kim Ray, thank you. And Ryan Holtman, Minnesotan here. Yeah, well, Effed Up World's in Minnesota too, Ryan. So go and subscribe to Effed Up World. All right, guys, I'm getting out of here. And thank you, messy gentlemen. We love you. I miss you. And I'll talk to you soon, Messy. So, Vernon, good night, my darling. Have a lovely sleep. All right, guys, this is Beck. Growler's off. So I am out.